The Backyardigans is a show produced by Nickelodeon. It ran from October 11th, 2004 to July 12th, 2013. With the 10-year anniversary of the show's close quickly coming up, I decided to take a more analytical look into the story of the Backyardigans, and I discovered a secret hidden in plain sight. Welcome to the Backyardigan video.
Castaways, we are castaways.
Let's begin. Before we get into the finer detail, let's review the main idea of the show, because it's likely been almost 10 years since you've seen it last. The show follows a cast of three main characters, Pablo, Tyrone, and Uniqua, with supporting friends being Tasha and Austin. Tyrone is an orange moose, Pablo is a blue penguin, Uniqua, well, no one actually knows what Uniqua is. Tasha is a yellow hippo, and Austin is a purple kangaroo. The general summary of each episode goes as follows. 5 animal creatures will meet up in a large backyard and go on some wild imaginary adventure, in which they will sing songs and have fun, before ending the day with a little bit of snacks. But that's not good enough. I believe something sinister is happening in that backyard, and today, we're gonna figure out what it is. Yeah. Let's start off by going through everything strange about the show, starting off with Austin and Tasha. Both of them show up significantly less than the core 3 Backyardigans. And the reason why is because, well, their backyards are sectioned off. Pablo, Uniqua, and Tyrone all share the same backyard, but Austin and Tasha's houses have a fence separating them from the main backyard. But why? Secondly, we have the houses. All the fronts of the houses are pointed towards the backyard. We see a street behind the houses. There's clearly more to this world, but yet it seems that everything there focuses on this backyard. We also see 3 houses just outside the backyard, but we never meet who lives there. If we're talking about strange things about the Backyardigans, then we have to talk about Uniqua. She's the only character that's not based off of a real animal. Not only that, she's also the only character we know to have a parent in this world, mentioning her mom in 3 different episodes, those being Mission to Mars, Race Around the World, and Secret Mission. We also know that Tasha can't be the only of her kind, as in episode 45, What's Bugging You, we see a portrait of a male yellow hippo, distinctly different from Tasha, but clearly the same species. But everything I've explained to you has been fairly minor info, something you'd have to look fairly close to notice. So why not discuss something larger? The cyclical nature of the show. A cyclical show normally implies that a metaphor is in place. And what other metaphor for a cycle than life? The story of life goes in a circle, from birth to death, every day being the exact same, the only difference being what you make of it. And at first glance, this seems to fit the Backyardigans fairly well, with each episode starting and ending the exact same way, and the only difference being what's in between. This process repeats until the eventual death of the show. But there's one problem with that, which being the characters never change. Austin is always shy, Pablo is always confident. We never see these characters evolve, meaning that this couldn't possibly be a metaphor for life, because that's a large part of it, changing and evolving. And in fact, I don't believe it's a metaphor at all. I think there's a much more realistic explanation to the cyclical nature of the show. But to explain that, I'll need to give you a little more context. Pablo Escobar, born on December 1st, 1949, started working with drug smugglers in the early 1970s, building up his empire, being dubbed the King of Cocaine, and eventually becoming the richest criminal in human history. He was confident, but could turn evil very quickly. He tried running for political office, even owned 4 different hippos. Now let's look at our Pablo. He's proven himself capable of running an empire. He's proven himself capable of being a king. He's shown that he's confident, but occasionally evil. He became a prominent political figure of a small town, and even has 4 good friends, one of which just so happens to be a hippo. Pablo the Penguin is a stand-in for Pablo Escobar. And this lets us figure out what the Backyardigans is truly about. It's about torturing Pablo. Time and time again, we see him defeated and bullied. Why? Well, because that's not a backyard, my friend. That's hell. It explains the strange houses, why no one else seems to show up. Because those neighborhoods aren't real. It was all made just to torture Pablo. And I can go one step further. I can tell you who's behind all of this. It's Uniqua. She's the only one not based off an actual animal. She's the only one we know is from this world because she talks about her mother. Her mother is from here, so therefore she must be from here. And she's also proven to know about us, the viewer, as in episode 11, Castaways. She looks directly into the camera. And the worst part, I don't even think Pablo knows what he did wrong. I think they wiped his memory. And now he's being punished for all of eternity for crimes he doesn't remember committing. So there you go. The story of the Backyardigans. That's what you wanted, right?
Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe there doesn't need to be a dark, deep-seated story and everything. Much of this video was just grasping at straws. And if you found yourself agreeing with any of the points I made, then you may be suffering from a minor case of complete insanity. Maybe things can just be for fun. There doesn't always need to be a deeper story. Maybe the Backyardigans is just a show for kids. Or maybe it's communist propaganda, who's to say? Anyway, have a good one.